Hey y'all. So, today we're going to talk about sin. We're going to have a good time, okay? Because I'm on team sin is a good thing, which might sound counterintuitive, but let me cook. So, I was raised in a Catholic church, and I looked outside of myself to the Father at the time, to the people around me, and a lot of the mindsets that I saw were ones of holding on to past transgressions instead of being able to release them. Now, why I think sin is so powerful in a positive way is that nobody is perfect. However, we are all perfect in our imperfections. And furthering to that point is when you do sin, the actual definition of sin is missing the mark. So you have this perfect version of you. There's a more expanded version of you, one that is more empathetic, one that is more compassionate, one that has more space within themselves for light. And sometimes you don't know how much light you can hold until you feel the flip side of the coin, until you feel the lower emotions of fear or grief or lack or lust, whatever it may be. And so as we go through our lives, we're in a constant state of learning, a constant state of growing, because nobody is put here that is just perfect right off the rip. Nobody. There's not a single person on this planet. There are a lot of people that will hold on to the past. There's a lot of people that will just view who they have been and hold on to it so fervently and say, oh no, I'm a sinner, I'm a bad person, I deserve bad things, I'm being punished. And that's not why we were created. God didn't create us so we could punish ourselves. He created us so we could slip and fall. And then we can get back up and learn from what made us slip and fall. That's why sin is so beautiful, because in a vibrational sense, I want you to back yourself out, right? You're an avatar. I'm an avatar. We are observers. We get to pick in every single present moment the actions that we'd like to take. And so what makes sin powerful is that in that present moment, you chose an option. And that option led you to a feeling state within you that is less than what is desired out of your highest version of self. When you actually start to learn from these things, these little slips and falls, it allows you to integrate in all the knowledge that you gain along the way. And that's what becomes wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to miss the mark. It is the ability to sin and get back up and look at the sin and say, hey, you know what? I don't like the way that made me feel. I'm going to change. I'm going to shift my identity. I'm going to look and have a new perspective on life because of how that instance, that opportunity, that person, that event made me feel. So we're not designed to constantly hold on to these negative emotions that sin can basically bring about into our lives and fill us with all this negativity, all this doubt, all this self-hatred. It's not meant like that. What we're supposed to do is more so experience it, feel it, live within that moment, and realize, hey, that is a low vibration. I can choose something different. I can learn from the sin, and that learning, that process of learning, is what allows you to expand. It allows you to grow. I don't want to say like I'm anti-religion, but I'm anti-systems. I'm anti-institutions. Anything that wants you to stay stuck. And what I see from my childhood and what I see in a lot of people that are of the faith or of the religion, because there's not a whole lot of faith there, to be honest, is that they want you to hold on to this old identity of self. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to learn. In fact, in some of these religions, they want you to remember it so then you can confess it, as if holding on to the past is going to do anything for you in a positive sense. What's really going to do a positive thing for you is to be able to actually analyze, become a little critical. Although I always preach to stay present, it is good to do shadow work. Shadow work being looking at the negativities in life, the traumas in life, the past experiences that led us to woe and despair, and learn from them so we can grow and we can expand. That is the entire point of this game. You can even extrapolate it out. You can look at all 7 deadly sins. And if you go and you cross-reference that with a vibrational chart, each one of them has a main energy that is carried with them. Lust, for example. Lust. Anger. Envy is comparison. It is judgment. Greed is based out of lack because you never have enough. There's something missing within you. Pride is based out of pride. Sloth is based out of apathy. I'm sure I'm missing one, but it is what it is. Gluttony, also based out of lack. There's this internal void that you need to fill within yourself, so you have to go search outside of yourself. To the degree that you overconsume to the point of waste. You start wasting away because you're not actually embodying a higher truth of yourself. So all of these, you could have that mindset that, oh, they're terrible, I should try and avoid them. Or you could learn from them. You don't have to necessarily avoid any of these things in your life. Your job is to be present. It is to experience. And when you experience something that brings you to a lower state of being, you have to be able to have the perspective, the wherewithal in your mind to say, hey, there's a flip side to this coin. I might be feeling lack right now, but that makes me more grateful for when I feel abundance. I might be feeling hatred and anger towards another individual right now, but on the flip side of that, I have a higher capacity for love and gratitude for those relationships that bring me joy within my life. The perspective is what is gained through missing the mark. So don't beat yourself up. Don't go crazy on the whole, oh my God, I have to avoid all the sins and do all this stuff. Live your life. If it speaks to you in the moment, if it brings you some type of clarity, if it brings you some type of happiness, you should do it and you should feel it. You should feel the emotion within you, and then based off the emotion that you're feeling, gain the perspective to, in the future, choose a higher path that leads you to a brighter tomorrow. All right? Love you guys. Catch you next time.